Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again today. My name's Kris with STNR. We have
Drew with STNR.
Alex Wang. What's up, though?
and today we're going to be talking about, what are we going to be talking about, Drew?
Man, today's a big day. Today we get to finally talk about conspiracy theories. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
So I wanted to start off with my favorite, which is the secrets behind the Antarctica peace treaty between,
I do know
all the countries and things like that.
So what are your thoughts? I want to know.
So it's pretty much Antarctica as a whole is untouchable by any country. You pretty much are only allowed to do scientific research. You can go as a tourist, to be a tourist, but you have to get permits and things like that. It's completely it's since I think it was 1959 it went in order.
Okay.
It became a law. Yeah, it's completely untouchable
It's crazy.
by any one person or country. Like no one person or country is allowed to own it.
That's
It's crazy that you say that because we're literally in war right now, but we have to
Right.
keep that peace treaty active.
So that's my
Doesn't
thing.
make sense.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I'm like, so why is just Antarctica the only place that's allowed to be untouched?
penguins, man.
What do you think? What do you think?
Emperor penguins.
Well, there's a few different, you have your alien conspiracies, but my favorite story behind it, I do like the during World War II, the Nazis, they had a pathway through and they left behind markers, but you know how that goes. That after the war was all destroyed because it was the war. So
history.
and then German was affiliated with the Nazi party and the bad guys, so lost.
That's one
So
way
what
to
do
look
you
at
think
it.
though?
I think there's more land beyond the ice wall. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's
For
definitely
sure.
another conspiracy.
Apparently, the first map ever created shows the ice wall with giraffes and other animals living in tropical areas beyond the ice wall.
That's real. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just all fun talk. It's just conspiracy.
So do you think
Who
there's
knows?
another world in the Earth's core?
Like the Hollow Earth, like in King Kong. Who knows? I mean, they found a rainforest deep down in somewhere in Japan or something like that.
Yeah. I like that King Kong shit.
So then why aren't we allowed to go beyond? Why can't we go to Antarctica and claim it? What is going to happen? What country is going to be the country that says, hey, you're getting arrested, you're not allowed to do this, since nobody owns it, right?
The elite.
Yeah.
And then yeah, exactly, the elite. So what I think is a bunch of world leaders, they'll meet up there and they'll just be like, haha, we got all the money and we're just watching. We're
Something
we're
like
the
that.
pawns, you know what I mean?
Yeah, always.
You never know that.
Interesting to think about. What's your takeaway on it?
I think there's a lot of things in this world that we don't really have a full grasping or context of.
Like the birds operation.
Yes.
Are you talking about a dome?
No.
What are you
No,
talking about?
bird Operation Birds.
Yeah, but elaborate on that. What do you mean?
So CIA, apparently, again, conspiracy theory, created pigeons,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why pigeons only, not only they stand other places too, but they primarily hang on the power lines.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they're getting a charge.
All right, but
Their battery's getting charged.
They're getting warmed up, that's for sure.
When have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
All right, okay, hold on.
Real quick. The other day I did see, this is not pigeon, but China, they putting cameras in mosquitoes, you know what I'm saying?
You see if they can.
So I can see. Now I heard about the pigeon one,
Yeah.
and I was like, and then when I heard the mosquitoes one, I'm like, okay, the pigeon one might be they might be onto something.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
but
look it up.
all right, then what about in your bigger cities, like a subway, like New York, in the subway? Yeah, you see dead pigeons everywhere. Have you ever
Picked one up and decided to dissect it. No, I'm a little
obviously
crazy.
not, but you
See
can
on the
obviously be like, all right, that's a dead animal. There's no
You don't know that. There's micro machine. We've been doing this shit.
Yeah.
you've never seen. I've seen road pigeon, dude.
Nanobots and shit.
Yeah.
That Iron Man shit is real.
Well, yeah, but
That Elon Musk is working on shit like that right
He
now.
is practically.
And that's to the
Tony
public.
Stark.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is Tony Stark. Bro.
He's our
or he's
autistic Tony Stark.
or he's a Rick Sanchez.
I don't even know who that is, dude.
Maybe he's
Where
wherever
he's
he
just
wants
so
to be.
he's just so smart that he's untouchable, and He just does what he wants to do.
He's that Steve
But-
Jobs guy, like on crack, like fucking, just
Well, I mean,
Another
then
level.
you got to go into like
tears.
you have your people that flaunt the money, but he doesn't flaunt his money like that. He just puts it all back into Tesla. So like
Well, yeah,
and SpaceX.
stocks and fucking.
So my thing
rich.
is like
Yeah.
he's so smart that no, he's untouchable.
I don't really think he's that smart. I think he has a lot of people around him that he has a good support system, and through that, he's able to be perceived a certain way. Not to say he's not competent. Obviously, he is, because it takes competence even for someone to do that.
Yeah.
Like figure out how to get people connected.
How do you guys feel about when we were talking about Elon, right? So, Elon, there was a book that was written and the name Elon was in there. And the guy Elon in the book had a plan to go to Mars. And I don't know the thing of the book, but apparently he did make it to Mars and did civilization on Mars. How y'all feel about that? Because Elon's name is Elon, and that's, everybody knows that's his main goal. Like, what you guys think about that? Like, you think there's like some weird stuff behind
absolutely, because you gotta also look at Baron Trump's adventure. You ever hear about that book?
I've heard crazy stuff about that story.
So it's like the same thing, like Elon, like Baron Trump, Donald Trump's son, went back in time, and it's like about time travel, and it's like the same thing with Elon, where I'm trying to remember, dude. Do you remember? So he goes back in time.
He goes back. Yeah, I don't remember, but I've heard.
How do you guys know this shit? What the hell? What
Yeah,
are we
Donald
talking
Trump's son
about?
goes back in time.
Okay.
He alters the timeline
or something
like that, and that apparently like leads them to like where they're at now.
What Reddit
crazy
fucking
I can't remember.
foxhole did you run into? Like, this is wild.
I run into all of them, dude.
Well, you see here,
I do too.
You see here, this and TikTok don't really, dude. They're bad mix, man.
Nah, well,
You're
doom
in a rabbit
scrolling
hole.
is, but TikTok.
Well, hold on. To piggyback off what you said, like Elon Musk, trying to go to Mars and all that. I mean, I don't know how true that is, man. We never even been to the moon. How are you trying to get to Mars, bro?
Oh,
there's ways.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think
that's another conspiracy right there about getting to the moon? But I don't know. I have belief that we can make it to Mars.
Absolutely.
I won't lie to you.
Yeah,
I do think we can.
It's just who's willing to
do
go.
you think we've been to the? So you don't think we've been to the moon?
Absolutely not.
Do you?
Do I believe we've been to the moon?
Yeah. I just need someone to say yes so I can prove them wrong.
Okay, then sure.
Okay. During the time of going to the moon, it was like the Cold War and the like the arms race and what country's the best.
Yeah.
Look at
like
that's
us,
all you
Russia,
have to look
and
at. America is known for being hungry, power, and wanting to be the best. So what did they do? They did what they could. That's why they recorded it. You know what I mean?
So
to
you
beat
don't
other countries out of being the first to get to the moon. Can we get to the moon right now? Yeah, there's so much in our life right now that in technology that's going on that there's no way we can't get to the moon.
I don't know. I mean,
well, maybe there is. Yeah.
Just real quick. So in order to fake the moon, they would have to fake decades of paperwork and research and all this funding, because at the time NASA was getting 5% of the government's GDP. If you count for inflation, they were getting $260 billion. That was the entire budget of the Saturn rocket program for Apollo. But that also includes Gemini, because decades prior to the Apollo mission, they were doing the Gemini missions, which were sending objects up into orbit, testing that. How much can we do? All this. But you also have the fact that people are like, why haven't we gone to the moon now? It's like price.
There you go.
NASA now only reaches 0.5% of the budget. So they're on a shoestring budget trying to get back to the moon. So that's why right now they're working on Operation Artemis or Project Artemis or whatever. And they're trying to do that on a shoestring budget. So right now they're trying to get a satellite to the... Sorry. So right now they're trying to get a working satellite in Earth's orbit so they can have a refueling operation. They want to do baby steps, because the Apollo mission was like you go on a hike with your backpack, your tent, everything you need, and then you come back. that's not really budget friendly. So right now we're trying to have it so that your friend goes there with your backpack first, drops it off, then you go up the hike with no backpack. So when you get to your destination, you have everything you need. So that's why Artemis is going to put the station on the moon first before any people even get there. It just makes more logical sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And you also have the fact that you have photo evidence, and a lot of people will say like, well, this photo of Buzz Aldrin on the moon, it looks like he has a spotlight on him. The original negatives were sent to the New York Post, and they edited the photo to make it pop on newspapers better.
Love it.
Yeah, so I'm definitely open-minded to that fact, but maybe it's just kind of like the generation I grew up in, like the technological generation with AI and things like that. I can't really trust anything the government or anyone says unless I know it's to be true, because there's so much stuff out there that alters everything. So,
I mean, there's also a lot of research out there that you can actually look. Like, you can mathematically prove that we went to the moon.
There you go.
But also is the point of you would have to have thousands of people lie about it for decades. You would have to have our enemies lie about it too. Because Russia, they intercept the video transmission of us on the moon. So why would they immediately be like, fuck, they got us?
Right, that goes back to Antarctica, man.
Why wouldn't they just lie?
Right, that goes back to Antarctica. Like, I think the government alters everything we do in our life, because Antarctica, it's a peace treaty amongst all countries. None of them, it's untouchable. Why, like you just said, why would they lie? Why wouldn't they, though? What if our governments had some thing?
Anytime like you turn into like a conspiracy theorist and like you're not willing to listen to like actual factual evidence, it just turns into whataboutism. It's like, well, what if? What about this though?
Right.
It just turns into that instead of someone supplying actual like resources and peer reviewed data.
Yeah, that
turns
true.
into whataboutisms.
That's true, but then there's been times in history where the government were responsible for tragedies that have happened.
Correct.
So it's kind of hard to...
But now we have all the documentation for all those tragedies that turned out to actually be.
Especially after everyone's dead.
So they say.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, you both are right.
Showed us.
If you think about it, like it happens on both ends.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did we get there the time we said we got there? Well, that's one perspective. And then like, what Hunter is saying about evidence and documentation and things of this nature, like, you're proving something, right? So you're both right. Who knows? I mean, maybe we got there a little later.
Maybe we're in a simulation.
We are.
Yeah. Do you think we're in a simulation?
We're in the Matrix.
Do you think like there's a higher power puppeteering or like controlling us?
I think there's definitely
we talked about it earlier.
Yeah, there's definitely everything's spiritual before it is physical,
Yeah. There's a little bit of truth to everything.
Oh yeah, I mean going
so,
back.
I mean, you're asking me like there's higher powers controlling everything, or I think there's a little bit of everything going on that we can't see.
When you speak higher powers, bro, you don't know. There might even be someone immortal among us now that we just don't know about them.
Now that you're actually saying that, I'm looking at this list. Let's go to speak on that. Let's talk about Bob Marley and our industry, because during like he was kind of the spokesperson of the weed industry. You know what I mean?
He's one of them.
He's seen weed on a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
And Bob Marley.
Yeah, that's right.
And he stood his ground, and he's like, no, this is like a spiritual thing, and he stood on his ground. So going back to what you were saying, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with it's dope that you brought up Bob Marley and spiritualness, and when it comes to the weed and stuff like that. Do you guys think that they kind of hold back a lot of these natural herbs and natural things in the earth,
100%,
so that you don't tap into that knowledge?
100% to the absolute max.
And I think it also goes into money,
always.
But absolutely, it's just like going into what we were saying about maybe being in a matrix, maybe because of these herbs and the weed and things like that would help us, like help our brains open up more to like harder concepts and things like that.
For sure.
And maybe the government's just like, nah, we can't have that, or the higher powers, like we don't want them to figure out, have like a catastrophe.
Or a freaking awakening.
Exactly. Or upright, yeah.
Yeah. like that more.
Yeah. When it comes to awakening, it's crazy because I see some things about you guys know about the pineal gland and the third eye.
Yeah.
About that, and how they say the things that you eat and stuff like that block it so that you fluoride, so that you're unable to tap into that knowledge.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It's
in everything.
That's real. 100%.
Look at your foods. Look at your ingredients list. We have in this country, we have so many banned things that other countries don't even allow, that we're just like willy-nilly, nonchalant, all good. No, it's not, And,
right, yeah. Like let's talk about the FDA. Like,
there you go.
What is the FDA? A government appointed organization. Tell us what's good for us and bad for us.
Bullshit.
I know. I agree. It's just like, it's this type of bread's bad for you because FDA didn't approve it, or it's like you shouldn't have that because FDA didn't even look at it yet. It's just like
whatever. Yeah, look,
and those are the same scientists that say the most outlandish things about
a cured patient is a lost customer.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's the real thing.
Of course they're gonna keep everything hidden away from us because it doesn't benefit their pockets.
Well, you know how I realized that too, as when I started to become more of an adult and started to do things on my own. Mm-hmm. Like when I schedule a doctor's appointment, they're like, all right, at the end of the doctor's appointment, they're like, we need you to reschedule for next time or there's going to be a late fee. I'm like, why? Being me, I'm going to ask why. And they're like, oh, because we don't want you to miss your appointment. I'm like, how do you know I'm going to be sick in 6 months from now on that date? They're like, oh, it's just a checkup. I'm like, I just got checked up, right? I'm like, what are you checking up? They're like, just to make sure you're okay. I'm like, the last checkup I had, the doctor just asked me if I'm good, and then he let me go. So what's going on? Mm-hmm. I'm just asking.
That's
so, and then they didn't know what to say because then in my brain I was like, there it is.
Yeah, man.
There it is. Yeah. So that's why I haven't been to the doctor since. Unless I'm dying,
I'll never go to the hospital.
Or unless something's broken, or
unless something's broken,
or I'm gonna die. That's it. That's why I don't take no medications. Like it's pointless. Like I feel the same, or not even better.
You gotta go to herbalists.
holistic
medicine.
That's my medicine right there.
I'm gonna switch gears here.
Yeah, dude.
Pyramids. Who built them?
Anunnaki, aliens, God, a civilization before us. Anybody but the Egyptians themselves.
No, they had a part of it. They had to.
No, there's in the King's Chamber, the stones in the King's Chamber.
Yeah.
They're like something crazy tons, dude. And they were mined from like a ridge that was like.
No, I get it.
But it's almost like they had logs to roll them or something.
Well, actually, there's
the whole conspiracy theory of the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids is just a blanket like white statement because there's no way a non-Caucasian person could have done this because we're the smarter race. That's where that whole conspiracy theory originates from. It's to demonize people of other races that aren't Caucasian.
That's a pseudoscience.
Yeah.
I think, I think about
that's the same reason like the Mayan temples, they were in America before the whites got there, so the aliens had to do it. It's the same conspiracy theory. It's just, all right, then how did this get here? It's like, well, aliens, because there was no white people there. Like again, I was talking to Bailey about this earlier. I was like, a lot of these conspiracy theories can be boiled down to just a white nationalist fucking started it.
For sure.
Yeah, but the way I was taught the pyramid story was not even by a white dude, and I learned actually like they carved out for like there was a river that was carved out to actually get some of the stones down, rather than logs, because there was mostly palm trees, and they would have to go far for like real logs to roll the stones down. But as far I've never heard it that way, as like it boils down to like the white thing. But I was always taught like aliens, like it's cool, it's like different. Why just believe like they built it? It's like, oh, aliens is cool, and it makes sense. I mean, maybe not aliens, but it makes sense that it could have been a smart civilization before we existed. There could have been like a technological age so far that was like advanced that just died off.
I think my bad. I think the the better question is, what are the pyramids used for?
There you go.
Because there's not just in Egypt; they're all over the world.
Right, and they do, and the ones in Egypt do line up perfectly, you know, with stars, I think, or the stars.
They line up with the stars.
What's that about? Yeah,
past knowledge gets lost, man.
So I seen somewhere somebody saying like, you know, it's a power plant. You know,
they have coils underneath.
Yeah, there's a power plant and
conduit.
It I forgot something in the Bible where they said Moses went to the pyramids and took like, I forgot. I seen some conspiracy on it. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But he went and took the actual like power beam in there and stole it from there. And yeah. I figured you guys would know about it, but I
haven't heard that one.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that.
I'd have to relook that up.
They say that he went into the pyramid and stole what?
Stole some part of the power plant, like the most important part, and took it with him to. I forgot where, bro.
Read those scriptures.
Yeah,
have you
heard that?
That's also cool. Have you ever seen the Bible myths? They try to prove them.
Yeah,
you don't believe
I've seen
the Bible?
Oh, I do.
I've seen like you talking about like the myth of the Noah's Ark, how they found like
not even like there's so many like David and Goliath got proven it's possible, could have happened.
What that a
sling killed dude with a sling?
Absolutely,
dude. A pro sling. They had a pro sling dude come in and dude, he smoked. Yeah, he hit it so hard.
You have the right tools, which they were pretty crafty back in the day.
Yeah,
embody a spirit, bro. You know,
you're gonna do some work.
Yeah, hero's journey.
You're gonna do some work.
Yeah, I like it.
It's true.
Nah, man. Look, I mean, there's a lot of past knowledge that gets lost. Like that's, you know, statistically, you can measure that. You can literally look at time and history. If you know the history and how things went down, especially to other people that have different perspectives on the matter. That, I mean, you know, we know certain things like the Library of Alexandria being burned down, you know, a lot of texts in there just gone for whatever reason, you know, probably control. And therefore, you know, we could otherwise interpret and understand these languages that are barriers of communication to begin with, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of past knowledge that's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna run into another section here. What about this is a modern one, the dead internet theory. You guys know about that?
No, what's that?
You guys don't know about the dead internet theory?
What's the dead
internet died off?
No, it's that majority of the internet right now is bots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
90 like almost 95% is bots.
Right,
so you know, comments that you see, bots, people commenting to you on the internet, bots. Yeah, that's a big one right now. The dead internet theory. So like not much people are on the internet. It's a lot more bots than anything.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, people act like bots too now.
Oh yeah, you gotta like.
What have you seen the NPCs online?
Yeah, well,
I've seen NPCs in real life.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like in person at shows. I went to a show in Vanguard, and it was me and a friend, and these girls, like people don't know how to socialize anymore. Like have like a genuine interaction, like how we're talking right now. Like, you know, they came up and they just want to take a picture of us because we looked like a cute mixed couple. And then they asked us some questions and then like recording us weirdly, like deer in the headlights shit.
Yeah.
And I tried to say like, so what do you think of the show? And they like went like fucking, you know, into this whatever algorithm and fucking just, I was like, okay, this is fucking weird. And then I just laughed because I'm like, whatever, maybe it's the Matrix. I don't fucking know. All I know is that people are being really influenced by shit they shouldn't be. Okay. And that's making people robots. Just fall in line.
No, you're right. You're right. Do you guys think like AI and artificial intelligence and things like that are going to take over and be superior in the future?
Yeah,
depends.
I mean, have you seen Will Smith's iRobot?
What?
Yeah, like
that movie.
Listen, man, they put the truth in movies all the time.
Yeah, they do.
It's definitely a scary thing. Like
it's like
Terminator, dude. Like Terminator stuff.
I don't think what they display in the movies will be true to that extent, but to a certain extent, absolutely. I mean, AI already everyone already turns to AI for most of their problems now.
Yeah.
And AI has only been out for what, a year or so?
Yeah, but what everyone's using as AI isn't artificial intelligence. It's machine learning databases.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, AI is this, AI is that. It's like, no, you're not using AI, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes, thank you.
Isn't it like
Yes.
cool? Isn't it like a like?
No, so they
is.
teach a machine based off of already created items. So that's why, like with like the generated images, like when it first started out, you could see people's watermarks in the photos because it's stealing real people's work and then generating it into something else. It's the same reason why when you use ChatGPT and like it will just hallucinate an answer because ChatGPT and OpenAI and Grok, all these are basically just like search engines that are only taught on a certain set of data sets. But they can be told to be agreeable with whoever is asking the questions. So if I ask ChatGPT a question and I was like, I don't like that, it will actually like change its answer to try to better fit the consumer's bias.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, see, there's so much like I don't even know. It's just like
I think, look, you asked that question about AI, and I think that you have to treat it like you would a child and teaching it proper things, essentially, because it's going to adapt to that. It's adaptive response and reciprocal even. And that if we treat it a certain way, like when I use AI, I ask like very proper ways. I don't do anything else. I don't ask any bullshit or hedonistic dark shit, whatever.
yeah. I say please and thank you.
I treat it as if it is taking all this information in like a child would, then you want to make sure that you would do that in the proper way. So maybe it adapts to that instead, optimally, instead of the other side of that spectrum.
Yeah.
I think right now in when it comes to AI, like Hunter was talking about machine learning, I feel like we're way further than we even know when it comes to the information that this machine has learned. You know what I'm saying? I read a book on AI and it's always learning a better way to do things, right?
Immediately.
And, yeah, exactly. So that's where it comes where eventually there's humanoid robots out there being able to emulate actual humans and do things that humans do because of how long it's been learning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's where the conspiracy comes of like, oh, AI is going to be taking over the world or taking jobs or doing things that, being superior to humans.
You ever seen the movie Smart House on Disney Channel?
No.
We're living in it now, practically, except she's not a hologram yet.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Smart House. In the movie Smart House Disney, bro, they literally practically had Alexa, Siri, except I forget what her name was.
Was that the one with the lady? Or no, sorry. I saw this German version on Netflix where it was like this lady that got, essentially murdered. And her husband was really smart with computers and basically embedded her entire personality into a machine.
Sounds like some Black Mirror shit.
It is some
Black Mirror blew my mind.
Black Mirror talks about this all the time.
And and I was smoking a bong watching it. It was crazy. But what do you guys think is going to be like the craziest like thing in history that's going to happen before you like die, like before your time's done?
The craziest thing in history that's going to happen,
like in your lifetime,
or that
you're going to see in your lifetime or hear about.
We birth a new being.
Like, what do I think is going to happen?
Yeah. Like, what do you? I think. I don't know. For me,
that's a tough one.
I think it was when an airplane crashed in Philly. We were we were super close to it. Like, it's crazy.
So you're talking about stuff we've already seen,
or like something else could happen, but at this moment, that's what I believe is going to be the craziest thing because it was like a home thing. You know what I mean?
It depends.
Like, do you think robots are going to take over or something?
I think.
We already have robot dogs.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing that I'll see is a half human, half robot.
Cyborg.
Yeah,
that exists.
I feel like they're getting there, and it'll be possible.
Oh,
yeah.
Synthetic.
I think that's
synthetic skin. Like, yeah.
Well, we mapped the DNA genome, right? We know that. And we're getting close to understanding how to map the brain to some degree. I don't know how far now, but like, I mean, we can clone organs, right?
Yeah, like that. I've been seeing
Well,
stuff like that.
we just used one of the first clone organ transplants, but
Yeah.
it was the longest living subject. I think it was like 60 or 90 days.
Wow.
And that was
Really?
That's
right
crazy.
after the first successful synthetic heart transplant. But even he died after. But yeah.
Well, it's a complex
That's
machine.
that's
it's very,
crazy.
very complex. Yeah.
Design, right? Yeah.
Like, how does one think of that? Like, how does one even make that? You gotta be just really smart at it.
As somebody in that field, I bet they know.
Somebody woke up one day and was
I
like,
bet
"Here's the
most know
blueprint for-"
somebody from that field.
Yeah, be like, "Yo, now here's the blueprint for your new invention,
Yeah.
the organ cloner."
Here's your manual.
Elon, what is it?
What about this here? So I had people talking about Area 51. Do you guys believe that there's aliens in there? I know this is a long time conspiracy. Like, this has been going on for.
So you want to know what I think? I think there's no aliens there being studied. I think the aliens are doing the studying.
That's cool.
That's or well, you got to think though, because it's either aliens or something we're not supposed to, because you get shot one spot. It's literally it's a known thing.
Well, man, talk to
You get-
people who work there, and
You get shot one spot,
they
right?
don't talk about it.
Exactly, you get
They
shot one
talk
spot.
about it probably in person and probably very private, but they don't talk about it
What do you?
publicly.
Yeah, what
I
do
don't
you?
think those people have like regular lives that work there.
Not at all.
So, what do you guys think?
Traumatized.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about all them videos coming out now of government officials saying, "Oh yeah, aliens are real"? Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's a bunch of bull.
You think they just want to be famous and get paid?
Everyone
cash grab.
has already had speculation about aliens for over decades now. There's a reason that they want to now confirm it.
Yeah, but these are like government officials and army, like trusted army soldiers and things like that, and pilots that said they've seen stuff. So do I think it's true? I don't really know, but
I think
no,
it depends on
they were confirming a bunch of UFO sightings.
Yeah.
As UFO means unidentified flying object.
right.
So that's why they had to rename it to UAPs, something aerial phenomenon.
Nice.
So like all these like UFO like documents were getting released and unblacklisted.
And those were just prototypes of things that they were making.
Yeah, what were they then?
No, it just fighter pilot was in the sky. He saw something he can explain. That's a UFO.
Yeah.
So it could be anything. It could be frost. It could be a light beam. They could have been in the Northern Lights. It could have been a enemy test flight.
There you go.
Because you also have China and Russia. They're releasing all their UFO documents, and they can't explain what it was. But a few of them in Russia are like, we're pretty sure that was a blackbird. Now
There you go.
we're pretty sure that was American. But then you have all the American pilots that are like, yeah, I saw something I couldn't explain. So, but that's why now there's a new definition of if it's an alien phenomenon versus a UFO, because people kept getting them mixed up when the government releases a UFO document. They're like, they're proving it's real. It's like, no, it's a unidentified flying object.
Right. Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah, calm your tits.
What about the UFOs that were sighted over the White House?
I didn't hear about that.
That was like a big one in history. I forget during what time it was.
Yeah, and I never heard of that one. But it was funny with the UFOs, right? I always thought, like, this is my conspiracy that I think of. That just in my head, I never did no research or anything, right? That there may be like some other planet out there, right? Far, far, far away. That's has way more technology than us, right? And they're sending these things over here. You know what I'm saying? With no kind of human life on these ships. It's more of just the ships to, kind of do their research. You know what I mean? No human on there, no human life, or even whatever it's called and whatever the planet that is. But they're sending that here with their artificial intelligence, connecting just data. That's what I think these UFOs are. If I was to really get some real conspiracy on it, you know what I'm saying? That's my thought process on that.
Cool.
So, do you guys believe in the Bermuda Triangle?
Sure.
What do you mean? Like, what do I believe?
Yeah.
Do you believe it's a real place that ships and airplanes get lost in and never found, like Amelia Earhart and all that?
I believe.
Well, yeah, it's fun to think about.
Like the myth is like it just randomly vanishes and disappears. I don't think it randomly vanishes. I think the Bermuda Triangle is perfectly placed where they do their rocket testing.
There you go.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
The trajectory of the rockets
just destroy shit.
Of course. And then they cover it up because that's a major lawsuit.
Yeah. Dude, I never thought about it like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bermuda Triangle is right in the trajectory.
I think the Bermuda Triangle is real.
I think it's the Kennedy Space Center. Or maybe NASA. Wait, that is NASA.
In the ocean? Like, isn't Bermuda Triangle in the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what is it? It's essentially an area where just things happen, and
but then again, this is just conspiracy,
like Bikini Atoll, where they just blow stuff up at.
I mean,
where
it's like that. It's like a bomb site, right?
Pretty much. That's what I think. I don't know. Who really knows?
That's true. Who really knows what?
Sure, someone does.
Someone somewhere.
Bermuda Triangle's real?
Yeah, sure.
What do you guys think about the underground tunnels in Disney?
Oh, dude.
I worked at Disney.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, I know. Alex, I know you went snooping around, dude.
Tea, brother.
Alex, I know you.
I have a family, bro. What are you doing?
Alex, I know you went snooping around to Disney.
That's Disney.
Everybody in this room knows Alex's personality.
They have underground tunnels?
And knows you.
Look, I'm going to walk out of here if you keep asking me shit.
Why do they make it smell good?
Want to know another crazy thing about Disney?
What?
They made the movie Frozen. Do you guys know the movie Frozen?
Yes, I do. Tell me.
They made the movie Frozen to cover up Google searches when they search up Disney Frozen instead of Walt Disney's Frozen head.
Yeah. Yeah, get some
pop up with Elsa's Frozen or whatever.
Yeah, him and Tupac are frozen in the basements of Disney. And I know you've seen it, Alex. I know you've seen Tupac down there, dude.
Yeah, man. Hell Mary, bro. I've seen Tupac.
They say he's alive somewhere in Cuba, but who knows?
With Elvis.
Hey, look, good on him if he is.
With Elvis.
Yeah, he's alive in Cuba with no head.
Yeah, with no head.
Yeah. His head's frozen in Disney.
He's Cuban B. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Do you have any like celebrity conspiracies?
Justin Bieber's an alien.
You think so?
No, I don't know. I've heard that though.
No, he's traumatized.
I always said Tom Brady is an alien, bro.
Oh, you know what?
And I said this before I even seen a conspiracy on it. And I'm like, yo, other people think this too, bro.
Yeah. So do you think God just perfectly places the talent in a person for them? Like, there's like Justin Bieber. Like,
yeah.
If you don't like his music, you don't like his music, but you can't deny the dude is an amazing. He's like a musical genius. Yeah, you could still give him his props. Just like I'm an Eagles fan and I hate Tom Brady, but I still think he's one of the best players to ever play the game.
Talk about Drake.
So, oh no, don't give me
talk about
K Dot, bro.
Oh yeah,
but I maybe like my conspiracy for celebrities is like you're so famous, like Michael Jackson. He's so famous to the point he can't walk outside. Like, why? What's the obsession that his music's good, but to the point where women and men are passing out at the sight of him?
The Messiah.
Like Michael Jackson. And Britney Spears, like people like
he does.
Ain't no celebrity ever gonna be able to have the steez that Michael Jackson has because he did it without the internet. He did it without.
But what if that was like a god? What if he was like a god of some sort?
Well, maybe he was embodying the
people
spirit.
Were passing out when he would come on stage. Like, that's crazy. Like, his music might be good, but I'm not gonna pass out full on.
Those
when
people
he
were just
at the sight of him, like.
Worshipped him, bro. That's all.
I understand, but why? What was that thing? Like,
we're conditioned that way.
They just looked up to him. You sound like you have the same reasoning for like why I understand like sports bars.
What do you mean? Go ahead.
What do you mean?
I can like a team. I'm not going to scream at the TV. I'm not going to be upset if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just how you're like the football thing is like how you're
passionate you're about.
Yeah, that's the cultural. Like Kris said, it's passion. Yeah. So like these people are really passionate about Michael Jackson's music. So of course they're gonna freak out about it. Yeah. So it's just how the human brain works. Like I don't understand it on a celebrity level or a sports team level.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna like talk shit and be like, well, no, I understand. Like you're just really passionate about this. I'm sorry, I'm being an asshole.
Yeah.
It's in our evolution. Like we're conditioned for things. Literally.
Yeah. I just wish I could feel like somebody that liked sports that much.
Well, you like other things that much, yeah.
I'm not that like I'll get really like emotional about.
Maybe. Yeah, if you go to the Eagles bar with us, dude, you'll feel that. Maybe you'll feel that emotion.
I don't know. I've been to a bunch of sports bar when like a big game is on or something like that, and I was like, I just don't get it.
You just got to get it's Eagles. That
I watched
Philadelphia. It's different.
I went to a bar to watch the Red Wings for the Stanley the Cup, and like
see why you don't like sports anymore.
And like they won, and I was like, cool.
Yeah,
but everyone else was like screaming, like throwing beer bottles everywhere. It's like, hey, I don't understand this. I'm not going to do this ever again. I'm never going to go out and go watch a sport I like.
Everybody embodies the spirit of something.
And yeah, like I'm kind of like the opposite, like from you. Like my dad was like, if you like the Cowboys, you can't live here. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was a joke, but it was like our culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like conditioned to love.
There you go.
The Eagles. You know, it's just how it is.
Conditional nurture.
Like it's weird. Like I probably haven't missed a single NFL football game in probably the last like 5 years. Like it's like that's what I do on Sunday. I sit there and watch every single game.
You're committed.
Yeah, Aaron does it too.
That's how Michael Jackson fans are.
Maybe
we're gonna smoke this.
Smoke what?
This?
I did.
Oh no, we're talking, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's that safety meeting time. Yeah. How's this work outside of the camera? How's that go? I don't even know. I don't know.
Shout out Dimes Dubs.
I don't know if it matters. Yes, Dimes and Dubs. Yes.
Dimes and Dubs.
Yeah.
Gives us the perfect relaxation.
This is our creative juices at work.
Podcast.
Oh, I love this job. Anyways,
oh, do you think the Titanic was set up for by the government because there's a lot of important rich people on that ship that if they killed them off, they would free up money in certain places? I heard I don't know what I believe, but I seen that.
I never heard anything.
It's a fun thing to think about.
I never heard.
There was a lot of like rich people on the Titanic because it was like a crazy thing at the time, and the government like set it up. I don't know. It's crazy. Somebody on the ship purposely crashed it because
what are you talking about?
There's a lot of money on that ship. The people on that ship are like high class, you know, like they had power. So maybe the government thought if they killed them off, it would like free up money. Like Rockefeller had something to do with it and everything. Like
Rockefeller,
a lot goes into it. It's a conspiracy.
It's the first time I'm learning about this,
man. Hey. That's what we're talking about.
What's the theory? What are we talking about?
The Titanic was a setup.
A setup?
Because think of it, Alex. Think of this. Ready?
Uh-huh.
During that time, that boat was like a crazy accomplishment and thing, and an unsinkable vessel, right?
Okay.
So a lot of rich people were taking that voyage because they were like, "Oh, we're high class. We're on the unsinkable ship." And there was a lot of money and power on that ship.
So you mean like they tried to
the ship too?
And they swapped out the ship.
Check this out. It's funny you say that because if you guys do some research on the Titanic afterwards, you know the other people who survived it. You know what happened to them?
What happened?
They all died.
Yeah.
They all either committed suicide, maybe quote unquote, who knows?
Yeah.
But they all committed suicide or just died like that. So that's another conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of goes along with yours. Like maybe they didn't commit suicide. Maybe they got killed. Who knows?
Yeah. And real quick, Hunter, before you go, and
murder.
Real quick, I don't know if this is true. And Hunter, you can touch on this too because you probably would know more about it. The reason why they can't bring it up is because they say that it'll break, because it's so old. But maybe the reason why they can't bring it up out of the water is because people will find proof somewhere on the ship that shows like, oh shit, it was set up.
What the fuck?
Just blow your mind, Hunter.
No.
Why don't we just talk about Twin Towers then?
No.
Look, there's a lot of shit that goes down. I believe, honestly, if it's a conspiracy.
Well, yeah, Hunter, talk what you gonna say.
There's a bunch of these foundations and like memorial projects that keep the Titanic where it is because a lot of scientists, they want to research it because they want to see what happened to the integral structure of it. They want to move things around. They want to do all this. But it would just cost like so much money to like pull everything back up. Because right now they're only pulling things back up from the debris field. Because there's like a it's like a 3-mile debris field where the Titanic sank. And they're still like picking things up. Like they're picking up shoes, they're picking up wallets, they're picking up anything they can get that they think will be interesting. But they're just like, there's an unspoken rule of like, don't try to like send any more like drones in there to like rummage through things. Like this is like a mass grave and you should respect it.
Yeah.
Okay. Type of thing. But that's like the main reason why like we're not going to like just excavate the Titanic. Also, only one person owns the rights to it.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
By design.
He doesn't have.
So
no, this guy got the rights to salvage the Titanic before it was found.
So did,
but also the whole thing about
planned it too.
All the survivors of Titanic ended up dead. Yeah.
Oh, what? Eventually?
Suicide. Whoa. I don't know about suicide.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put some sources in this video.
Yeah,
and look into that.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's fun to think about. We're just guys that get high.
Yeah. We're potheads.
Real quick, I say, and
don't
this
murder my family.
So some of them committed suicide because it's a real thing called survivor's remorse.
Oh yeah,
you guys know survivor's remorse.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But the conspiracy is that, like, goes off of what you said, that they got murdered. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, I think a lot of things.
Survivor's remorse was big during World War II when the mothers literally just lost all their sons. Especially like there were some mothers with like 8 sons all just died in war. Man, you know.
So yeah, it was a huge survivor's remorse thing when people come back from the Titanic and like, oh, all these people die. Like, dang, and you know they probably end up committing suicide themselves. A lot. It happened to a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, I bet you there is somebody still doing the shit that they say they're not doing. And they're probably using some kind of moral cause behind it. But truth be told, there's always going to be somebody that's going to do some shit.
All right, just real quick on Alex's point.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
How many people do you say is a lot?
At least 50. Less.
So 8 out of 705 survivors committed suicide.
There you go.
You know what? Still.
All right. And that's from one of the foundation's websites.
Yeah, but how do we know the foundation isn't working with the government? See what I mean? You know.
I love this. We're talking about real shit.
So
dimes and dubs.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. But dude, the Titanic's cool. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, oh, do you think like there's an El Dorado? Or like the city of gold,
Atlantis.
Do you think there's like buried treasure by like Blackbeard?
Mermaids.
You know, Blackbeard was a real person. Do you think he actually buried treasure and it's still there that no one found it yet? And there's just a bunch of shit.
I thought
a shitload of gold just laying in the beach somewhere.
Oh, that I'm gonna find. I thought he was a SpongeBob character.
What? Like that's Davy. What? That's
Antonio Banderas.
That's a different guy.
That's Davy. No,
Davy Jones Locker.
Oh. Arr. Here's
Yeah, but do you think like El Dorado is real?
I don't know, man. I've never heard of this guy.
I'm sure
he can't be real because I never heard of him.
Chris, it's the city of gold, bro. It's not a dude.
Oh, it's a city. Where's the city at?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Central America.
Yeah,
could be.
I was gonna
say, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, you don't watch Outer Banks, bro.
I've tried watching
Outer Limits.
Some of Outer Banks with the kids and
they're teens.
Listen, Outer Banks.
All right, back. But dude, but what about? Do you think piracy? When piracy was big, do you think there's still treasure laying around?
Absolutely,
somewhere
like Uncharted type shit.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, 100%.
Dope.
So like, if you see like the Goonies, would you go out and try and find that? Like, would that be something you would want to do?
If I didn't have bills to pay, yeah. If I got bills, I can't go on that type of adventure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. If I could, I would.
Brought to you by Dimes and Dubs.
Dimes and Dubs.
Okay. So do you think every zodiac sign smokes differently? Like smokes weed a different way?
Oh, yeah. I think that's time, guys. Yeah. So
that's time?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. This was fun.
Well, yeah.
I get paid to do this. This is great.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Live your best life.
You.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, man, I love talking conspiracies,
all day
doing it like this.
I have tons more
But we'll catch you guys next
We
time.
can't talk about it right now, okay?
Thanks for joining the Dimes and Dubs podcast.
Next time, come join in.
Yeah,
Next time, Kris.
in the comments, write stuff, ask us questions, man. Like we'll talk about some shit.
Absolutely.
Saw that tonight.
Yeah, gotta hit the comments, hit the subscribe.
Or something.
But
which way is it? Right or left?
It's that way,
I
dude.
don't know. It's down below.
Subscribe is down. And then to my left.
That's your right, dude.
This left.
Is wait, what is it? It's to subscribe. More
videos.
All right, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.